Yo, what's good? Your413 here back in the day, and today, guys, we are here for another top 5 vehicles that I want to see in Forza. However, though, this time around, we're not doing cars, we're not doing trucks. We're going to hit on a topic that not a lot of car people like. We're going to be hitting on the top 5 SUVs that I want to see come to Forza sometime in the near future. Now, you might be thinking, grr, SUVs are lame, SUVs are stupid, we shouldn't have SUVs, they shouldn't even exist. And for the most part, I agree with you. A lot of SUVs out there would make perfectly fine sedans. I mean, they're boring a lot of times, so on and so forth, but there are a lot of really freaking cool SUVs. Honestly, I've got enough SUVs listed down here to make 3 more SUV lists already. And especially this year, there are a lot of amazing SUVs coming out, but we're going to be hitting on some of the coolest SUVs that I could come up with. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get on into it. So starting things off at number 5, what we have is the 2012 Mazda CX-5. Now this vehicle is not very fast. In fact, they claim to produce 163 horsepower. However, though, in North America, when they were actually tested, they only produced 155 horsepower. And that is not a lot from an SUV, because they are big, heavy boys. You know that to be true. However, the thing is, with the Mazda CX-5, especially the first generation, that first year model, they're known for being plucky, fun little cars. I mean, they're not that big in terms of SUVs. I believe they only have, 2 rows of seating. Like, they're not that big, and they're fun, they're cheap, and they get you wherever you need to go. These things, honestly, are absolutely amazing to drive. I've got a friend who has one of these, and, I hit her up, I was like, oh, right, which version did you get? Did you get the all-wheel drive or two-wheel drive? She's like, I got the all-wheel drive. And I was like, okay, did you get this engine or this engine? And she's like, I got that engine. And it's like, oh, yes, she got the best one, and she didn't even know it. And she was talking about how much she freaking loves it. And it's like, you have no idea how happy it makes me that you actually chose probably one of the best affordable SUVs on the market. Oh my god, guys. If you are wanting an SUV, you need some extra space. Maybe you want something that's a little bit taller. This is probably the vehicle that I would choose for you. Honestly, no joke. Probably one of the greatest affordable SUVs. So coming in at number 4, what we have is, of course, you can't have a list about amazing SUVs and not include Toyota. And we're talking about Toyota's Go Anywhere, Do Anything SUV, the 2016 Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro. And in its first model year when this thing was unveiled, they unveiled it not at some lame car show. No, they knew they had to go big. They had to go to the biggest event in North America. And they decided to do it right. And they went to none other than the Texas State Fair. They unveiled a car at the Texas State Fair, the biggest state fair in America. Holy crap. Why would you do this? I don't even understand. But they had to make a presence. They had to make themselves known, because they knew if they took it to like a car show, like an auto show, people are going to be like, oh yeah, this is cool. They'll get a lot of media attention and reports. But then they wouldn't sell as many. So they knew they had to take it to where their buyers were and take it to the state fair, where you got all these moms walking around with their kids, having a good time, eating some funnel cake, and they're like, whoa, what is that good looking SUV right there? And they go home, they look it up, they find out all the specs and go, wow, that thing sounds amazing. This thing, like I said, is Go Anywhere. It has Bilstein shocks, which are probably my second favorite shocks. I would probably say my second favorites. My favorites are Fox, but Bilstein are a close second. They're a close second. Now, it does only produce 270 horsepower from a 4-liter V6, but honestly, that is more than enough for this thing, and you can throw some more power in it if you want to. You really, really can. It also got some really freaking cool colors. In 2015, when the TRD Pro first came out, it got Inferno Orange. Ooh, spicy. And then in 2016, it got Quicksand. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, that Quicksand color is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I want it so bad. I wanted a 2016 Toyota Tacoma in Quicksand because it is such a nice color. In 2017, Cavalry Blue. And then in 2018, the following year, they added Voodoo Blue. And now, the most recent color is Army Green. If you want to make sure that people know that you're a badass, Maybe if you're in the military, you need to get yourself some army green Toyota 4Runners. I don't know, but it is honestly actually a really cool color. I do love it. They even put it on the Tundra and the Tacoma now, so that is honestly amazing. Maybe one day if I upgrade my truck to a Toyota, I'll have to pick up one in army green because it is actually a really nice color. Coming in at number 3, we have a vehicle that's really a sports car. Maybe you're getting old, you can't sit down in your sports car anymore, or maybe your wife insists that, hey, we have a 4-year-old and a 10-year-old, they need a place to sit as well. But you're rich enough, you want that sports car, but you don't want to, blow your money all in one spot. You want to make sure that you have a vehicle that can do everything that you need it to. So what do? You go over to Aston Martin and say, hey, can you, lift the Vantage and maybe throw a hatch on the back of it? And they go, sure thing, we got it right here. And that is the 2020 Aston Martin DBX with a 4-liter twin-turboed AMG V8 with 542 German ponies under the hood, the same engine that is in the current Vantage. Also, by the way, did you know this thing has the biggest grille ever fitted to any Aston Martin? And I find that a little bit hard to believe because there are some big grills on Aston Martins, but apparently it is massive. It is absolutely massive. Now this thing is based off of Vantage, however though, it does have its own frame, it has its own platform, so it is not quite a Vantage, but it definitely handles like you would expect in Aston Martin. Now just remember, it is an Aston Martin, so in 5 years it's probably going to break down, and it's going to cost you a whole lot of money. Then coming in at number 2, we have probably one of the most anticipated vehicles in all history. This thing is an absolute beast, and I'm talking about none other than the 2021 Ford Bronco. When this thing first started getting leaked, we saw all these images and then went, oh man, that's so cool. Probably won't look like that though. And then, Chevy came out with their whole freaking Blazer, and everyone was disappointed because it just looks like a general SUV that no one really cares about all that much. But, it's still pretty good looking SUV, I will give it that. But it ain't no Blazer. They should have gave it a different name. And then Ford finally gets around to building their Ford Bronco, building their amazing Bronco. Everyone was getting really excited, hoping they didn't do what GM did. And they did not disappoint because they gave us a 2.7-liter turbo EcoBoost with 310 horsepower that can fit 35-inch tires. 35-inch tires, and that's stock. You can actually request 35-inch tires on this thing, which I believe is actually the biggest tire from any stock manufacturer vehicle. And the thing is, with off-road vehicles, everybody wants a big-ass tire. I don't think I can fit 35s on my truck. That tells you how much clearance this thing gets under the wheel wells. They built this thing because they know this vehicle is going to get used and abused off-road. People are going to use it, and that's what they built it for. They built this thing to do the absolute most. I guess you could say a GOAT. Maybe it is the GOAT, the greatest off-roader of all time. Maybe not, I don't know. But they did go with that, and they have GOAT mode, which is their terrain select feature. And on top of that, it even has cameras on it so that you can actually film your trail runs. And at the same time, you can actually upload all of the terrain info into the display telemetry and what the terrain looks like on the image. Oh my god, that is some amazing video editing stuff right there that the car does for you. That is absolutely insane. I really want one of these. Now it comes in 3 different versions. There's the 4-door, the 2-door, and the one no one really cares about. I can't remember what it is, but that's the cheaper version for the for the person who just wants to get around town but wants to say, I got a Ford Bronco. It's kind of like a Jeep Liberty, I would say. Okay, not that far. It's still a really good vehicle, but it's definitely not as good as the 2-door and 4-door, which, by the way, are also open top. You can take the top up, you can take the doors off. They have already set it up for you to do so. This vehicle is going to be an absolute beast. I cannot wait to start seeing these on the road because it looks so damn good. I am so excited about this car. So now, finally, coming in at number 1, how on earth are we going to top the 2021 Ford Bronco? Probably one of the greatest SUVs of all time, at least so far. How on earth are we going to top that? Well, maybe a little SUV by a little unknown company that costs 259,000 big ones, but also has a 6.4 liter V8 from the Dodge Demon. I'm talking about the Rezvani Tank Military Edition. This thing is a beast of an SUV. This thing is absolutely crazy. Based on the Jeep Wrangler, this thing is freaking bulletproof. And has Fox Springs, and has night vision, and smokescreen, and road tag deployment, military run flat tires. It is an absolute beast of a machine. And if you're a celebrity or a VIP or maybe someone whose life is being threatened, or maybe you just got a bunch of money but you're also suspicious of everything around you, because I'm thinking about Orange being kind of sus over there, I need to get the hell out of here. So what do? You go buy the closest thing you can to a tank, and you buy an armored 1,000 horsepower badass fucking Jeep. That's what you do. Chris Brown owns one of these. And they are so damn expensive, but they're luxurious inside, and they're bulletproof, and there's so many things that you can do with these. If you want to off-road it, you can. I don't think you would off-road this vehicle, though, because it costs $259,000. That's absolutely asinine. And then, for the big boys out there, for the people who want something a little bit more eccentric than a $259,000 armored tank, well, they make it in a 6x6 version too, called the Hercules, and that starts at about the same price. So holy hell, you can get some absolutely crazy vehicles for the money. Holy shit. So anyway, though, that's where we're going to wrap things up for today. Let me know down in the comment section which one of these vehicles is your absolute favorite, and do you guys have any other suggestions for absolutely badass SUVs that we may need to cover in another video. I want to hear your guys' thoughts down in the comment section down below. As well, if you want to, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at twitter.com/Griffin13 and Instagram.com/Griffin13. As well, if you guys like this video, go make sure to hit that like button down below for us, because you guys already know your support is so greatly appreciated. And make sure to subscribe when videos come out all the time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out. Bye.